Welcome to the Good Business Dufferin podcast, hosted by the Dufferin Board of Trade through our social enterprise, the Dufferin Biz Hub. Our podcast is based on our belief that small businesses have the power to drive positive change in our community. Our conversations with local experts will help your business thrive, and our talks with community leaders will inspire you to make a difference in Dufferin County. Whether you're looking to grow your business, strengthen our community, or hopefully both, we've got you covered. Welcome back to another episode of Good Business Dufferin, the podcast where we explore how local businesses are driving innovative growth in Dufferin County and beyond. I'm your host, Diana Morris, Executive Director of the Dufferin Board of Trade and the Dufferin Biz Hub. In today's episode, we're diving into a topic that's becoming increasingly important for all business, cybersecurity. Whether you run a small business or manage a large organization, protecting your data and digital infrastructure is critical in today's digital world. Joining me is Ashish Gupta, a cybersecurity expert and the driving force behind YCyber IT Solutions. YCyber provides IT professional services, cybersecurity solutions, and app and website development. They also offer corporate consulting to help businesses build reliable technological infrastructures that support growth. In this episode, we'll break down the essentials of cybersecurity, explore more common threats, and discuss actionable steps that business owners can take to protect their data and systems. If you've ever wondered how secure your business or what you can do to improve, this episode's for you. Let's get started. So, Ashish, can you tell us a little bit about YCyber and what inspired you to create this company?
Well, I love technology, and I'm working in the industry for over 25 years. And I was fortunate to work in Silicon Valley, all over USA, Canada, and I work with some European companies too. So my aim was to provide affordable, cutting-edge technologies to small and medium businesses in Dufferin. So that's why I started YCyber IT Solutions.
Oh, fantastic. So you do things like IT management, cybersecurity, app and website development, networking. Can you tell us what those things are and how you help small businesses with those services?
So technically, in most of the cases, those things are interrelated, starting from the proper setup. That is infrastructure. So we help the companies to provide a proper infrastructure, what computers to buy. We deal in Dell. So we are authorized for Dell. So we deal with Dell. So proper infrastructure help people not to overspend what they don't need or underspend what they need, but they buy and all those kind of things. And then help them in if they need some kind of website development or any custom or mobile development and stuff like that. We help them in designing those kind of applications. All that with the proper procedure and industry standard. All that comes to one thing that is cybersecurity at the end of the day. That whatever we develop or whatever infrastructure we work on, that helps them to secure their data and work efficiently and with productivity. So that's what we do.
Awesome. So talking about the YCyber piece, I suspect a lot of small businesses, nonprofits may not really understand why cybersecurity is so important. Why do businesses need to be concerned about this?
The short answer for this one is business continuity. So how many businesses can afford interruption in their business? Simple like this. So it depends on the size of the business that how much interruption they want in the business. But most of the time, the cybersecurity relates to the breach of data, which is a very serious concern, and securing your network, infrastructure, and other stuff. So in short, for businesses, in simple words, that's the interruption of their business and the loss of reputation. And also, it costs them. It costs them big. It can cost them big. So that's why cybersecurity is very important.
Important. Awesome. So what exactly is cybersecurity?
So cybersecurity are the practices which keep unauthorized access to your network, application, data, any unauthorized. So cybersecurity is a set of tools, a set of practices which help to keep unauthorized access to your devices, your phones, anything which is related with your business, which comes into that's cybersecurity.
So anything that you do that helps your data and your customers' data and everything stay secure.
To stop unauthorized access.
Yeah. Access. Okay, perfect. So what are the most common cybersecurity threats that small businesses might face?
Most of the time, the intent from a scammer or a hacker or a bad actor is to steal the data. So it starts as stealing the data. So as a breach of data, stealing the data, and make you pay unauthorized money. As you can see, you must be hearing a lot about old people are getting scammed off for their credit cards, Apple cards and stuff. So these are most of the common and trendy things for small and medium businesses.
And it's good that you mentioned about consumers and especially the elderly. There are a lot of scams out there. Is there anything you can tell sort of a consumer when they get an email, or maybe someone who is a senior and is new to the email world? What should they look for that would be a telltale sign that it's a scam?
So usually the pattern is that there will be a lot of grammatical mistakes, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, please don't open anything which you are not expecting. Nothing is free in this cyber world. So usually, for example, I know, let's say Tom, and I can get an email from Tom. Hey, I'm giving you the free tickets to Hawaii. The moment when the free ticket word comes in, be alarmed. Second thing is, oh, I have invoice, your money is pending. I think everybody knows what money is pending, so kindly don't open that. Check it before, check it 4 times. Check your email from, don't see the name, but always check from. Don't check only the name. But if you're not expecting anything like that, please be suspicious and call the person directly.
Call the sender.
Not the sender, directly.
Okay.
Yep.
And is it attachments? Is that the main place that we get in trouble, is when we open an attachment in an email?
Yes, so that practice is called basically phishing.
Okay.
So that's very common in small businesses. That's very common in big businesses. Enterprises receive it, small business receives it, consumers receive it. So attachment is an way to trick a person who is opening the email into installing something called malware in your computer. Okay. So malwares, not that good. The funny thing about malware is they won't be posing any threat immediately. You think, nothing happened, I'm safe. No, that doesn't happen like this. Malwares are residing on your computer, and when the time will come, they will act. We will discuss more how they act. But basically, yes, malware injection into your computer is the main purpose of those emails, phishing.
Okay. And what, so you open the file and it just sits dormant on your computer. What does the malware do eventually?
Actually, malware's the main access of malware is to basically it corrupts your computer. So one example of malware would be that, let's say the malware is injected in your computer from a game or from some attachment or something like that. And then you want to type a Royal Bank, rbcroyalbank.com. So the malware, it will redirect you to some other website which will look like Royal Bank. Okay. So now that part will be called spoofing. And then you will say, oh yeah, it's a Royal Bank because you typed 80% of the time. People don't check the URL because the URL is so big. People don't even know what they're looking at, or they will just see the RBC logo. They will put their information, credit card information, their debit card information, and boom, the entire information is gone. That's how 80% of the attacks happen.
Wow, that's scary. So if you go to a website, what you should be looking at the URL at the top to make sure, especially if it's a banking or a financial website, looking at the URL. What other things should you do to make sure that you're on the legit, correct site?
So usually it's a URL, number one. Number two is basically the spelling mistakes. So hackers try great with the AI and generative AI. They are getting good with the time, but always look for spellings. The colors will be little off. You have to remember the banks, all the big corporates, they are very specific about the color tone of their websites. So their colors will be little off. Usually their alignments will be off. So these are the things which you can look for immediately. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. So what should, a lot of this is consumer awareness here. What should businesses do to strengthen their cybersecurity defenses?
I think doesn't matter it's a small business, big business, or a single consumer. You should have something called endpoint security in modern times on your computer. Okay. As a start. Second is follow the best practices. For example, some people never update the computer. They just use a computer, they shut down at night, the computer never got updates. So kindly update your computer as per your operating system guidelines. That's number one. Number two, your passwords. Your passwords should not be short passwords. The new standards are 15 characters minimum. And the passwords should not be a word. The password should be a paraphrase. For example, back in the days, I will give the password Ashish2345, Ashish96. Then I try to be smart. Instead of A, I will put @
Right.
Those days are over. Those things can get busted maybe in half an hour or 2 hours. So the new standards are the phrase should be, I want to go to vacation, and use encrypted letters into it. So it should be a paraphrase instead of a word. So that will save you. And third, kindly lock down your computer. Don't let your computer open. Doesn't matter it's in your household or anything. Lock it with your 15 characters or more password.
Okay. How do we remember those passwords? Like, what's your secret? I have so many passwords, and I often hit forgot password and just keep coming up with new ones. What's your tip on how to remember the passwords?
So there are two ways to use that, but again, you must have heard about something called password managers, right? So password managers help to keep the password, but recently, last year, one of the topmost password manager got hacked itself.
Oh.
So that gives. So I personally don't give password. I don't keep passwords in an Excel sheet either, which most of the business people do. So basically, use the phrases which you can remember. Yes, it will be hard, but that's what you have to do. Or if you have to use password manager due to productivity and stuff like that, then research in the market to see which password manager is doing good, which is using the latest technologies and all that stuff. Then use the password managers. But please, please, please don't use your banking, financial, any PI, personal information passwords in any document and then put it on the computer. When the hacker will attack, that's the first thing they will search, and it only takes 3 to 4 seconds to find out that this file is a password file.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right, that's good tip. Now, you mentioned something about endpoint encryption.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's endpoint protection. Sorry.
Okay.
So back in the days, we used to have our old antivirus, right?
Yeah, McAfee.
So McAfee, McAfee and
computer,
everything, not and McAfee, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff was there. But the limitation with antivirus was that they only protect your files, that they won't let the files corrupt. They won't let the operating system files corrupt. But it was just like that. I'm an armed guard. I'm a security guy. So my role is to just sit in the room. I will only protect this room. Oh, I am told if somebody touched that box, shoot it, protect it.
Okay.
But I don't know what is happening outside this door. I don't know that the robbers are outside this door and stuff like that. So endpoint protection is extension of antivirus. Antivirus is a part of endpoint protection.
Okay.
Nowadays, endpoint protection are smart, a little bit smart. So they mitigate the threat even before it touches your computer. So they protect all the outgoing ports. For example, all the physical ports on your computer, all the USB ports where you attach your mouse and stuff like that, they will be checked if, for example, you have a USB drive, you have infected files. The moment you will insert that USB file into your laptop, it will block it right then and there only. So endpoint protection, I will say, is extension of antivirus, or antivirus is just a small part of endpoint protection.
Okay. And how does a business go about, or a person, a consumer, go about setting up this endpoint protection?
So if you are a small consumer, one computer, you are a small business or, simple consumer, I think the best way is just go out there and buy endpoint protection. McAfee, I recommend McAfee.
Okay.
Or I will recommend Bitdefender. So we deal in Bitdefender commercial, not the consumer one, but Bitdefender or McAfee, I will say they're two of the topmost endpoint protections in the market.
And would a consumer just Google McAfee endpoint protection and download a link, or what's the best way to actually get that onto your device?
No, I will say first, as industry standard, a good practice is kindly go to McAfee website.
Go directly to their website.
McAfee website or Bitdefender website.
Okay.
And see, they are always for the consumers, they always have a sale. The best time to buy is January.
Okay.
Between October to January. So they can go up to 60% to 70% off. So that's the best time to do your subscription. They do 3 years most of the time. So go for that 3 years, because that won't even cost you for 1 year with 60% off, and save your computers. So usually they come with 3 devices. Most of the industry standard is 3 devices.
Okay.
So for the cost of 1, you get 3 devices protected in your home. So please don't go on Google and just download anything. Go to first find the McAfee, go to McAfee website when you're on the McAfee website or Bitdefender website. Go there and download the proper software and do the subscription. Yeah.
Okay. And when you say 3 devices, so should you back up your laptop and your tablet and your phone, or what are the devices you should be using with this encryption?
Depends. So let's take one computer business. Somebody is just using one computer for their business, small business. So what they have to do is basically they have to check what devices they're using to input data into their work computer or into their system. For example, email. Let's take a good example of email. So email is used in the laptop. You can send the email from your tablet. You can send the email from your cell phone. So wherever in any business, you are inputting the data, or data is coming in from outside, protect those devices. So in this case, cell phone, tablet, and the work computer will be there.
They can use sort of the same program, like you can download the one.
Yes, so they're basically, all these companies, Bitdefender, McAfee, and sorry, I didn't mention SentinelOne, CrowdStrike. There are tons are out there. So basically, you install first on your main computer. So basically, it will act as a dashboard, and then you install on the second one. They will check on the same network, and then install the third one, and then the 3 licenses.
Awesome. Oh, that's good to know. I didn't realize it was so interconnected.
Yep.
So this is great for a consumer or a business that has a sole proprietor, one laptop and a phone and a tablet. What about businesses that have multiple employees? How do they manage that?
That's where people like us come in. So when you are installing it on the small and mid-sized business, in the mid-sized business or enterprise, I will say mid-sized business or enterprise. So we have a commercial version of these softwares. So there needs a little bit more configurations and settings. So the installation way is a little similar, but the configuration will be different because the needs of a medium-sized business and a large enterprise are a little bit different. So over there, basically, a professional should be engaged to configure your system correctly. Because, for example, there is no need for a solo business or a simple business to encrypt their hard disk. But for a mid-sized business, let's say they consume people's credit card. Simple example. Now, credit card comes under the category of PII, which is personal information identification.
Okay.
Breaching of that data can cost you a lot of money. It's not that the data is lost. Somebody can sue you, and to retrieve that data, it will cost you a lot of money. So over there, the requirements are a little bit different. So for example, your laptop is stolen only for one purpose, and that's one purpose is that this laptop, we know that it stores 100 credit card information for XYZ reason due to your business needs, right? You have protected the laptop, but the scammer or the thief, they don't want to use a laptop for some reason. They just want the storage device on your laptop, right? So there is a security on the endpoint protection we provide. Basically, the moment they will detach the hard disk from this laptop, everything will become encrypted. That means that hard disk cannot be used with any laptop. Okay. So their requirements are totally different. So usually it's recommended if you are a mid-sized business or an enterprise, you have to engage a professional to configure in conjunction with you so that endpoint security should work properly.
Okay, that makes sense. And that's interesting. So basically it renders it unusable as soon as it's detached from the system.
It's detached, yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So are there any red flags that business owners should watch for that might indicate that their systems are vulnerable?
Yes, there are always a lot of red flags. First red flag is from a technology perspective, you are not updating your system and Windows is keep on flashing that, hey, updates are not done, updates are pending for 10 days. Second thing is there is no password on the computer. Lots of people, a lot of my clients do that. I am still convincing them, please don't do that. But at the end of the day, it's their decision. But please, please, please don't keep your computer without a password. Third, don't use the same password for your 100 websites, the same password.
For everything,
so scanners are sitting there as a scammer. Their only purpose is there's a team of 100 people sitting there in India, Philippines, or somewhere else, or Romania. Somewhere they're sitting there. Only one purpose is to get that one client. One client, once their machines running there, which scams your passwords. So once they call upon, so your password could be stolen from some shopping cart. Your password could be stolen from anywhere. For example, you just subscribed there because they were giving the wallpaper, free wallpaper. These are the common ones. Like shopping carts are the advertising or the free trip to Florida, these kind of websites, right? So let's say they stole your password. They will they will try to attack with the same password and same email address on thousands of websites. And don't think that they will do it manually. Their softwares, all the websites are filled up there. It will take them 2 minutes to go through, let's say, 10,000 websites, and whichever website matches, it's a bonanza for them. So please kindly don't use same password. Public free Wi-Fi. Please don't use free Wi-Fi on airports, especially airports, malls. If you see anytime, go to a mall and then put a free Wi-Fi. Other than mall, what mall is providing you, what an airport is providing you, you will see 10 to 20 names, free Wi-Fi, jingling, free Wi-Fi, town. Those are the people, might be the people who wants you to lure you in to connect their network and they can go with your phone. Yeah. So please don't use a free Wi-Fi. Okay. If you have to use free Wi-Fi, kindly don't do any banking or anything which is related with your banking, money, or personal information. So.
Okay, so if you go to, say, the coffee shop and you use the Wi-Fi, you're saying, first of all, make sure that it's the right, legitimate Wi-Fi provider. It's not, it's legitimately Tim Hortons Wi-Fi or whatever you're using. And then make sure that you're only doing surface level stuff. You're not doing things that would have potential.
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
yes.
That's good to know.
Those are some red flags. You see that you are using that kind of Wi-Fi. You are using that kind of Wi-Fi and stuff like, those are totally red flags. People use, and usually people get contaminated from these websites. They might not understand at that point, but eventually down the line, they feel the stuff.
That's great information. Now, what about remote work? There's so many businesses now that have people working from home. Is there anything specific they should do for when you're working from home?
Yeah, remote work is the necessity for the modern productivity. Every employee works from home. Every employee has to work on the go. So technically, they have to work on all these things. Yes, remoting is necessity, and we cannot avoid it. But when we do set up our businesses for remote work, so there are a lot of things which need to be taken care of. First thing is, now you are not in the comfort of your home network, which is secure. You are actually in a hotel, and your work is in, let's say, Orangeville, right? The servers are in Orangeville. So the data has to travel from Florida to Orangeville. So there has to be security over there. So that they have to work with some VPN provider. Usually we help them installing VPN, which is virtual private network. So that encrypts, create a tunnel between their work. And second, they have to secure both computers which are using remoting should have endpoint protection so that no infected file pass over from point A to point B. So if a organization has a lot of employees who are doing remote work, I will recommend them to seriously start thinking about securing their computers and install VPN depending on the size of their company and infrastructure. cybersecurity.
That's awesome. That's some really great information, Ashish. That's a lot of information that we went over. We're running low on time, but in the past 25 minutes, you've covered a ton of topics, which is amazing. So I think I would recommend that anyone who's listening and wants more information, reach out to our website, and YCyber, which is Ashish's company, will be linked on our website. So reach out, see if you can get more information, because there was a lot covered there. So thank you so much for your time. Really great information to go over for small businesses and consumers. Thank you for listening and watching. Don't forget to follow us on social media and like and follow our YouTube channel. Until next time, keep doing good business, because good business is good for everyone.